My name is Alex Carter and I want to welcome you to Greenland, the island that shouldn't exist. It's, a vast, silent continent of ice, adrift in the frigid North Atlantic. This is a place of profound contradictions, a land where nature really asserts its power, with an almost overwhelming force. The very name, Greenland, is perhaps the greatest of these paradoxes. It conjures up images of rolling emerald hills and verdant pastures, a gentle, welcoming landscape. Yet the reality one finds here is starkly different, a world sculpted not from soil and stone, but from ancient compressed snow. 80% of this colossal island lies buried beneath an ice sheet up to 2 miles thick, a relic of the last ice age that holds 10% of the world's fresh water. This is a kingdom of white and blue, where colossal icebergs calve from glaciers with a thunderous roar and drift silently out to sea. It's a land of extremes, both beautiful and brutal. The promise of green was a clever, maybe even desperate piece of marketing from a bygone era, a lure set by Norse explorer Eric the Red to entice settlers to this formidable frontier. In our journey together, we'll peel back the layers of this icy enigma. We'll explore how life not only endures but thrives in this seemingly inhospitable world. We'll meet the resilient people who call this island home, uncover the secrets of creatures that swim in its near-freezing depths, and witness the bizarre traditions born from the necessity of survival. So, join me as we venture into the heart of the world's largest island to understand the truth behind its misleading name. Greenland is a land of superlatives. It's the world's largest island, a territory so vast it could swallow Great Britain, France, Spain, and Germany whole, with room to spare. Yet, its population is smaller than that of a modest town, with fewer than 60,000 souls scattered along its rugged, ice-free coastline. The sheer scale of the inland ice sheet is, honestly, difficult to comprehend. It's this immense frozen desert, a high-altitude plateau of silence and white, where the weight of the ice has actually depressed the landmass below sea level. If it were to melt, global sea levels would rise by a staggering 7 meters. But this immense sheet of ice, however, conceals a secret. Buried deep beneath the frozen expanse, geological records and fossilized plants tell a different story. Millions of years ago, before the grip of the ice ages took hold, Greenland was indeed green. It was a temperate landscape of forests, home to a variety of insects and plants, a world totally unrecognizable from the one we see today. So the name, therefore, is not a complete fabrication, but rather an echo of a long-lost primordial past, a ghost of a warmer world preserved in the deep freeze. The story of its naming is a fascinating chapter in human history. In the late 10th century, the Norse explorer Eric the Red, exiled from Iceland for manslaughter, sailed west and stumbled upon this new land. To attract fellow Vikings to join his settlement, he gave it an alluring name, Greenland. He reasoned, quite shrewdly, that people would be more enticed to follow him to a place that sounded fertile and prosperous. It was a masterful act of branding, a strategic deception that successfully established Europe's first foothold in the Americas, centuries before Columbus. Life in modern Greenland exists in a delicate balance with the environment. The towns are small, isolated pockets of humanity clinging to the coast. There are virtually no roads connecting these settlements. Travel is almost exclusively by sea or by air. This isolation has fostered a unique way of life. Imagine for a moment a country where you cannot simply drive to the next town. Every journey is an expedition, subject to the whims of the weather and the sea ice, reinforcing a profound connection to the natural world. The visual landscape of these towns is striking. Against the stark white and gray of the rock and ice, the houses are painted in a vibrant palette of primary colors. Red, blue, yellow, and green buildings stand out against the snow. This is not merely for aesthetics. Traditionally, the colors served a practical purpose, indicating the function of a building. Commercial shops were red, hospitals yellow, police stations black, and fish factories blue. It was a simple visual language in a land of dramatic landscapes. Beneath the frigid waters that lap against these colorful shores, life persists in ancient forms. Here swims the Greenland shark, a true Methuselah of the deep. These creatures are the longest living vertebrates on Earth, with lifespans that can exceed 400 years. They move with a slow, deliberate grace through the near-freezing darkness, their eyes often colonized by a parasitic copepod that renders them almost blind. They are living relics, contemporaries of Shakespeare and Galileo, silently patrolling the depths. The shark's longevity is a testament to the slow pace of life in the extreme cold. Its metabolism is incredibly slow, allowing it to conserve energy in the nutrient-scarce environment. For centuries the Inuit hunted these sharks, not for their meat, which is toxic when fresh due to high levels of urea and trimethylamine oxide, but for the oil in their livers and the sharp denticles of their skin, which were used as rasps. The existence of such an ancient being serves as a powerful reminder of the deep, hidden life that this icy land supports. From its misleading name, to its unique infrastructure, and the ancient creatures in its seas, Greenland is a place that constantly challenges our expectations. It is a frontier not just of geography, but of life itself. The story of this island is one of deception, survival, and breathtaking natural power. It is a world built on ice, but its foundations run deep into a surprisingly green past, and its future is inextricably linked to the changing climate of our planet. To survive in one of the planet's most unforgiving climates, the indigenous people of Greenland, the Inuit, have developed a remarkable suite of adaptations over millennia. Their physical appearance itself tells a story of evolution in the extreme cold. A stockier build with shorter limbs reduces surface area, conserving precious body heat. An additional layer of fat provides insulation, and a unique circulatory system allows them to maintain warmth in their extremities, warding off frostbite, in a way that would be impossible for most other humans. Their connection to this land is absolute. For thousands of years, they have been masters of the Arctic. Before the arrival of modern materials, their ingenuity was on full display in their clothing. Garments were meticulously crafted from animal skins, primarily caribou and seal. A double-layered system was key, an inner layer with the fur facing the skin to trap air, and an outer layer with the fur facing outwards to repel snow and wind. Boots, known as kiviaks, were made from sealskin, providing waterproof and warm footwear essential for traversing ice and snow. The traditional Inuit diet is a direct reflection of the resources available in an environment where agriculture is impossible. It's a diet rich in protein and fat, sourced almost entirely from the sea and the land. Seal, whale, walrus, muskox, caribou, and fish form the cornerstone of their sustenance. Every part of the animal was, and often still is, used. The meat provides protein, the blubber provides energy and essential fatty acids, and the organs are a vital source of vitamins and minerals, such as vitamin C from whale skin, or muktuk, which prevents scurvy. This reliance on hunting fostered a deep, spiritual, and practical knowledge of animal behavior and seasonal cycles. The hunters are expert observers, reading the subtle signs of the ice, the wind, and the water. Success in the hunt meant survival for the entire community, and this interdependence forged incredibly strong social bonds. Life was a collective effort, a shared struggle against the relentless cold and the scarcity of resources. It is within this context of extreme interdependence that some of the most misunderstood cultural practices arose. One such practice, now almost entirely a relic of the past, is what has been sensationalized as wife-sharing. To view this through a modern Western lens is to miss its fundamental purpose entirely. In the harsh reality of traditional Inuit life, this was not about promiscuity. It was a complex and deeply logical social contract rooted in survival. It was a mechanism for forging alliances, strengthening community bonds, and ensuring mutual support in a world where a lone hunter was a dead hunter. Imagine a hunting party on a long, perilous journey far from their home settlement. A hunter might travel with his wife, who was essential for preparing food, mending clothes, and providing companionship. If he encountered a lone hunter from another community, offering the hospitality of his wife for the night was a profound gesture. It established a bond of kinship, turning a stranger into a trusted ally. These men would become song cousins, bound by a reciprocal obligation to help one another for the rest of their lives. This practice also had a crucial genetic component. In small, isolated communities, the gene pool could quickly become limited. The temporary exchange of partners introduced genetic diversity, strengthening the community's resilience against hereditary diseases. It was a pragmatic solution to a biological imperative. Furthermore, if a hunter's wife was unable to bear children, this arrangement offered a chance for him to have an heir, who would one day provide for him in his old age. It was a form of social security, woven into the fabric of their customs. It is vital to understand that this was a formalized, consensual arrangement, often discussed and agreed upon by all parties including the women. It was not a system of ownership, but of partnership and mutual obligation. The practice has largely vanished with the introduction of modern technology, larger settlements, and outside cultural influences. To remember it is not to judge it, but to appreciate the incredible social ingenuity the Inuit developed to create a resilient society in a world that offered no margin for error. In Greenland, the familiar rhythm of day and night, a cycle that governs life for most of the planet, is completely upended. Here, light and darkness are not daily occurrences but entire seasons. The island's position high above the Arctic Circle dictates this extraordinary phenomenon. For several months in the summer, the sun never sets. It circles the horizon in a perpetual golden twilight, creating the surreal experience of the midnight sun. During this period of endless daylight, life transforms. The land, briefly released from the grip of ice, bursts with activity. Arctic flowers bloom with an urgent intensity, and migratory birds arrive in their millions to breed. For the people of Greenland, it is a time of energy and celebration. Children play outside late into the night, and communities come together for outdoor gatherings. It's a time for hunting, fishing, and stocking up resources, a frantic rush of activity fueled by the constant light. Tourists flock to Greenland in the summer to witness this spectacle. Kayaking among icebergs at 2 in the morning under a bright sun, or hiking across the tundra in the soft, unending glow, are unforgettable experiences. The light infuses everything with a strange, dreamlike quality. However, this constant daylight can be disorienting. Blackout curtains are essential for sleep, and the body's internal clock, or circadian rhythm, can be thrown into chaos. It's a beautiful yet strangely unsettling assault on the senses. The flip side of this coin is the polar night. As winter approaches, the sun sinks below the horizon and does not reappear for months. The land is plunged into a profound and enduring darkness, broken only by the ethereal glow of the moon, the stars, and the shimmering curtains of the aurora borealis. The vibrant colors of summer are replaced by a monochrome world of white snow and black sky, a landscape of stark, minimalist beauty. Life during the polar night slows to a crawl. The silence is immense, a deep, pervasive quiet that is almost a physical presence. The outside world becomes a place of extreme danger, with biting winds and temperatures plummeting far below freezing. Daily life moves indoors. It is a time for storytelling, for craft-making, for family, and for introspection. The community draws closer together, finding warmth and light in each other's company against the vast, cold darkness outside. This extended period of darkness can have a significant impact on mental health. The lack of sunlight can lead to seasonal affective disorder, or SAD, a type of depression characterized by low energy and mood swings. The Greenlandic term for this winter depression is perlerornic, which translates to feeling the weight of life. The people have developed coping mechanisms over generations, focusing on social activities and maintaining routines, but the psychological challenge of the long night is an undeniable part of life in the high north. The northern lights, or aurora borealis, are the great gift of the polar night. When solar winds collide with the Earth's magnetic field, the sky ignites in curtains of green, pink, and violet light. They dance and shift silently overhead, a celestial ballet of breathtaking scale and beauty. For the Inuit, these lights were traditionally the spirits of their ancestors playing a game with a walrus skull. To witness them is a spiritual experience, a reminder of the immense and mysterious forces that shape this polar world. The extreme cycles of light and dark in Greenland are more than just a curiosity. They are the fundamental rhythm that dictates all aspects of existence. They shape the behavior of wildlife, the patterns of human activity, the flow of tourism, and the very psychology of the people who call this place home. To live here is to be in a constant state of adaptation, swinging between the manic energy of the endless day and the deep, contemplative stillness of the perpetual night. In the realm of extreme cuisine, few dishes are as challenging to the uninitiated or as deeply embedded in a culture's identity as kiviak. This traditional winter food of the Greenlandic Inuit is a testament to human ingenuity and the necessity of preserving food for the lean months of the polar night. It is a dish born from a world without refrigeration, where fermentation was one of the few methods available to make food last. The preparation of kiviak is a process that is both gruesome and fascinating. It begins with the hunt for a seal. Once caught, the seal is prepared in a specific way. Its stomach is emptied, and then the entire cavity is stuffed, packed tightly with hundreds of small seabirds called little auks. As many as 500 birds can be fitted inside a single seal skin. the birds are placed whole, feathers, beaks, feet, and all. This is a crucial detail, as the intact nature of the birds is essential for the fermentation process that is to follow. Once the seal is filled to capacity, the incision is sewn up tightly. To ensure the container is airtight, a thick layer of seal grease is smeared over the seam. This prevents air from entering and, more importantly, stops flies from laying eggs, which would spoil the entire preparation. The seal is then placed under a pile of stones in a cool, dry place. The weight of the stones presses out any remaining air and helps us seal the package completely. And then, the waiting begins. For a period ranging from 3 to as long as 18 months, the package is left to ferment. The seal's intestinal fluids and the natural enzymes within the birds slowly break down their tissues. The flesh liquefies, the organs pickle, and the entire contents are transformed into a potent, high-energy food source. The cold Arctic environment acts as a natural refrigerator, slowing the process and preventing outright putrefaction, guiding it instead towards a specific kind of fermentation. When the time is right, the seal is unearthed, and the kiviak is ready. The smell is famously, overwhelmingly pungent, a powerful, ammonia-like aroma that is an acquired taste to say the least. For outsiders it can be an insurmountable barrier. For the Inuit it is the smell of a celebratory feast, a cherished delicacy reserved for special occasions, like weddings, birthdays, and the dark days of Christmas when fresh food is scarce. To eat kiviak, one typically bites off the bird's head and sucks out the liquefied innards. The taste is described as intensely savory, cheesy, and reminiscent of very mature gorgonzola or other strong aged cheeses, but with a distinctly gamey, marine undertone. It is an explosion of flavor, a concentration of the sea and the sky, preserved and intensified by time. The fermented fat and flesh provide a vital burst of energy and nutrients during the harsh winter. The cultural significance of kiviak cannot be overstated. It is more than just food. It is a symbol of community, of tradition, and of the deep knowledge of the natural world passed down through generations. The shared act of preparing and eating this dish reinforces social bonds. In a world of supermarkets and imported goods, the continued existence of kiviak is a powerful statement of cultural identity, a direct link to the survival strategies of ancestors who mastered life in this formidable land. While it may seem shocking to an outside palate, kiviak is the logical endpoint of a life lived in close partnership with the environment. It represents the ultimate expression of using every available resource, of turning scarcity into abundance through patience and ancient wisdom. It is a dish that tells the story of Greenland itself, a story of finding sustenance and even celebration in the most extreme and unlikely of circumstances. We have journeyed through a land of magnificent illusions and harsh realities, from its deceptively green name to the profound darkness of its polar night. We've seen how life, in its most resilient forms, has carved out an existence here. The story of Greenland is a powerful testament to adaptation, a narrative written in ice and stone, and in the enduring spirit of its people. But it leaves us with questions that linger long after the images fade. If you lived in a land where the sun vanishes for months, and icebergs float past your window, could you handle the silence? Could you find comfort in that immense, quiet dark? This island is a world away for most of us, a place of freezing temperatures and stark landscapes. I'm always fascinated by where our stories reach. So, let me ask you, where are you watching from and what's the temperature there right now? Whether you're in a sweltering city or a quiet countryside, take a moment to imagine the contrast with a Greenlandic winter, where the air itself feels solid and the primary color is the endless white of the snow under a moonlit sky. We've also touched upon traditions that challenge our modern perspectives, like the historical practice of wife sharing. It's easy to judge the past by the standards of the present, but the logic of survival often creates its own morality. I invite you to share your thoughts in the comments below. Would you feel jealous or understand the logic behind it? These traditions, born of necessity, force us to question our own assumptions about community, partnership, and what it truly means to survive. Thank you for joining me on this journey into the heart of the Great White Island.